So, how many of you guys out there have been feeling lonely and you're just looking for a group of friends or new friends or anything like that, and you're finding it just so troublesome just to find anyone to hang out with? And if that's you out there, then you're like me, right? For the longest time, for the past year and a half, I've been living in this new city, and I had recently been considering moving because I have basically no friends. I have some friends, so I don't have no friends. Let me change that. But some of them are coworkers, and you know, it's hard to mix work with personal life sometimes. And sometimes when you're friends at work, that doesn't necessarily mean they're gonna want to hang out with you or anything like that. And yeah, for about a year and a half, I was feeling pretty lonely. I still feel pretty lonely. Not in a way where I'm like depressed, but just in kind of like a binary way. Like I just, don't really hang out with anyone too much. And, you know, recently I've been getting really upset with the city that I live in. And I kept up until now, I kept thinking like, this city is so boring. I want to move somewhere with more excitement so I can meet people and stuff like that. And I had been considering honestly moving to Austin. Like I'm still considering it, but I considered it heavily. I did a lot of research. And what I kind of realized is even if I got to Austin or a big city, with a lot of people, it's not like you're just going to meet people off rip. Like you actually have to the way most people make friends is not just running into someone randomly on the street or in Walmart or whatever. The way most people make friends is you consistently see people on a daily basis or weekly basis doing the same things, and then you start to get to know each other. And then the more and more you get to know each other, then you start to, maybe you go hang out one time, and then, it builds from there. And that's why a lot of us during when our younger childhood years or teenage years, we had a lot of friends because we saw the same people in school like every day, you know. So eventually you get to know each other and you get to form these groups of friends, and it's kind of forced upon you. But then when you get older, life starts to happen, you start to work a lot, and maybe even you move to a new city like me, and then next thing you know, you're kind of just doing life tasks every day. Like you're going to the gym, you're going to work and stuff, but you're not really, socializing. And that's what happened to me. And I started to blame the city that I'm in. And I don't want to say where I'm at just for privacy reasons, but I started to blame the city that I'm in. Like, this city is so boring and there's nothing to do. And I want to move somewhere with more excitement. But at the end of the day, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. What I've come to learn the past couple of days especially is that the grass is greener where you water it. Right? I'll repeat that one more time. The grass isn't necessarily greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it. And so when I realized that, I began to do my research, And a hard thing for me is like, I don't drink and I don't think that going to clubs or bars is necessarily a good place to meet people. It's loud. There's a lot of, people that are intoxicated and whatnot. So, I've avoided that. I've even tried to go out there and socialize at places like that, and it just, it's not a good spot for me. And, I want to be around people that do the same things as me, so that wasn't working. So I ended up hearing from a friend that they went to a run club, and it worked really well for them. So I took this idea, right? And I was like, let me look up some run clubs around the city. Maybe I can meet people at a run club. So I looked it up. I found them online. Actually, it was with ChatGPT. I had a conversation with ChatGPT. I was like, I don't want to go out to places where you have to drink or spend money and stuff like that. I just want, a nice productive group of people where it's like free and we just go out and do stuff. And, how about a run club? And it gave me a list of run clubs in the city, and this was the first one. So, another thing I wanted to say is like, back in the day, before, cell phones and the internet and all that, like people had to go out to socialize. You couldn't just get on a, device and reach out to people and socialize that way. You had to physically go out and do it. And I think that's what kept this idea of like third places alive and thriving, because people needed them, and they needed them badly because that's where they socialized at. So these third places where people would hang out at, and libraries, restaurants, bars, cafes, whatever, you had to go out to something like that to actually socialize, either with the group of friends that you already have or new people. But nowadays with social media, we kind of, it's easy to resort to just being on your phone and socializing that way. And so the more connected you get on your phone, like the more disconnected almost you get from real face-to-face relationships. And so I'm sure a lot of you out there are dealing with the same thing. And that's kind of why I wanted to make this video. Like, friends aren't just going to appear, for the most part. Sometimes they will, but even if you come across a really cool person, like you might only have like a 30-second interaction with them and then they're gone, I mean, for me, I go to the gym, I throw my headphones in, I go to work, and I go grocery shopping, for the most part. Like, it's not like, if there's a very low chance that I'm just going to run into someone at Walmart and they're just going to be my new best friend, right? So after realizing this, I said, you know what, let me go try this run club and just see what happens, because I can get around people that want to be fit, they want to do productive things, and they host it consistently every week, so I can actually like, show face multiple times and get to know people personally, like consistently, you know what I mean? So that's what I did today. I just ran 4 miles, so if I look gross, that's what just happened. I just got home. And it was amazing. It was amazing. I never really did anything like that before. I mean, I've played soccer for a team, but you kind of have an objective as a soccer team. You're there to train, But this was a little different. I've never actually gone out of my way to look for groups to join as an adult, It almost felt a little awkward to even think that way until now. But I said, you know what? Let's put the excuses aside, like I talked about in the last video. Let's put the excuses aside, and let's just do it. Maybe it'll be awkward, maybe it won't, whatever. And I get there, and everyone's amazing. I mean, all the people I met are amazing people. I met people that are entrepreneurs, they're building their businesses. One guy I met owns a marketing agency or something. Another guy owns like his own shoe brand. I mean, people were actually wearing the shoes and running in them. It was like amazing. And yeah, I just told them how grateful I was for them welcoming me to the group and like letting me run with them. And you know what the crazy thing is it was completely free. So many times we think we got to go out to bars or we got to go out to concerts or something, and we spend all this money and nothing comes from it. Like, you can do things that are free and you can make friends in a free way, and it feels so much more real that way. It feels great that way because you don't feel like you're moving backwards just to try to move one step forward. Does, if that makes sense. But yeah, the point of this video is, if you're out there and you're feeling lonely and you feel like you want to find some friends and you don't know where to turn, and you've been, on your phone too much, or you're just going through the motions in life, doing the same thing every day, you go to work, you go do whatever, and nothing's changing, like, you need to take a step out of your comfort zone and like actually look for these things and make a change, if that makes sense. Like, look for run clubs in your city, look for clubs, I don't know if you're into art, look for art clubs, look for like book clubs, whatever. Look for these things in your city and reach out to them and try to join. As weird as it sounds, it might be awkward, but just give it a go. And you'll be surprised at how many people you meet, And don't be discouraged if the first group that you meet doesn't work out. Maybe they, you didn't have a good fit with them. That's fine. Go find another group. But it's amazing when you start to see, like, when you actually go searching for it and you actually like make an effort to go try to meet people, like, you can meet so many more people than just hoping that someone comes by, And there was something else I wanted to share. But anyways, there was a lot of cool people there, and that was the first time I went, and I'm just appreciative that they let me come in. There was no hesitation. They just say, "What's up? What's your name? Like, we're gonna have a good run today." It wasn't even like, "Who are you?" or "Why are you here?" or anything like that. And it was really cool to see. It was cool to be around like some great people and just good vibes, and just work out, just go on a run. It was simple. It was amazing. And I just wanted to share that experience with you guys, to remember that, you might be feeling lonely and you might be feeling like it's so hard to make friends and you don't know what to do in your city, but I just wanted to give you a few ideas of what you can do. And to just take that step and take that leap and actually try to join things, try to become a part of something, become a part of a group, or like anything like that can make you feel like you're socializing again, I mean, this run club, there was probably 75 people there today, all running in a group. I mean, I met so many people, I got their Instagrams, it was pretty cool. So, but the point is, the grass is greener where you water it, right? Put the effort into making the connections in your city before you decide like this place sucks or something like that. Meet these people and have an open mind about it. And I think if you do that, you could, potentially find a group of friends and feel less lonely. And that's what I want for all you guys. If any of you are going through this, like how I was going through it, or I still am going through it, but I want you guys to, I think everyone deserves to be able to feel like, they're included in some type of social life in some way, and it feels good to socialize with other humans, not through a device, but like actually face to face. It feels right, and it's just what we're supposed to do, and I hope that every one of you guys can find that sort of thing. And if you guys have any suggestions in the comments, like how you can go about making friends for, other people that are watching this video, and even for me, leave it in the comments below. If you have any thoughts, anything like that, let me know in the comments. And I feel like there was something else I wanted to share, but I think I got my point across. So anyways, I just wanted to share that with you guys. Remember, the grass is greener where you water it. And yeah, if you guys like this video, I will be making more in the future. And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.